above the window. Why was he acting as if this was a private moment between her and the trapper? Surely he didn't think she should consider the offer, or accept it.
The way I understand things, you don't have much choice.
Mr. McCabe drew her hand to his mouth. His chapped lips scraped against her skin as he forced a kiss.
You're needing a man now that Otis is dead. I'll make you a good husband. I promise not to go down to the Rusty Wagon or gamble or head up to Central and visit girls the way your husband.
That's enough. She yanked her hand, finally getting Mr. McCabe to release it. The entire town might know of Otis's indiscretions, but there was a difference between knowing and speaking.
I'll gladly take the boy in, too. Might even teach him some trapping.
Mr. McCabe's knees popped as he stood. No. The word emerged rough and raspy.
Well, then, I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Tomorrow? She rubbed at her temples, which had started throbbing the moment Mr. McCabe opened the door to her bakery. He offered her a tight smile and a glimpse of teeth yellow enough to match his tobacco-stained beard. Teeth inside a mouth he'd expect her to kiss if they wed. A shudder ran down her spine. He squashed his hat atop his head and headed toward the door, the cheery bell tinkling behind him as he left. She rubbed her temples again and turned to Mr. Ranulphson. "I'm sorry for that. Display, fight, misunderstanding, what word to even use?" The banker took a strawberry pie from the shelf.
You should consider his offer, Mrs. Danell.
Why did everyone assume she needed another husband? She'd made the mistake of getting trapped in a marriage once, and she wasn't fool enough to make it again. "I don't need anything Mr. McCabe has to offer."
Have you recovered your money, then? Did Sheriff Jenkins find who stole it?
A hard lump formed in her throat, and she shook her head. She hadn't even bothered to tell the sheriff about last week's robbery. If the man hadn't lifted a finger to find who had taken her money the first 2 times, he wasn't going to help with the most recent robbery either. Was it good or bad that she'd only had $8 taken this last time? If there was one benefit to having no money, it was that whoever robbed you couldn't steal very much. Mr. Ranulphson dug around in his pocket for some change and set $2 worth of quarters on the counter beside the pie.
Do you have the money to pay your mortgage?
I can pay this month's, but I don't have enough to catch up, no. Though the $8 that had gone missing last week certainly would have helped. Mr. Ranulphson sighed so hard he almost ruffled the curtains on the opposite side of the storefront.
I'd like to work with you, Mrs. Danell. Truly, I would. I'm not in the habit of turning people out of their homes the moment they fall on hard times, but neither can I ignore your situation forever. Another month has passed, which means you now owe me another $10 for June's payment. You haven't paid on your mortgage since February, so that brings you up to $50 even. If not for being robbed, I would have been able to pay you. She wouldn't let tears flood her eyes. She wouldn't. But I still need you to make back those payments, and it's time we set a date. Say August 1st. That gives you 2 months to get things caught up.
Where was she going to come up with so much? She wrung her hands together, keeping them behind the counter so Mr. Ranulphson couldn't see. And if I don't have the money by then?
I'm sorry, but I'll have to take back your building.
His voice was gentle, understanding even, like he'd done this hundreds of times before. Like he'd perfected just how to deliver such news while keeping the person indebted to him from flying into a panic or rage. She glanced down at the tips of her boots, peeking out from beneath a faded